Welcome to Misfits. This is the podcast where I speak to the troublemakers, rebels, and mavericks. These people are the folks who see things differently, who have gone off the beaten path and found their pursuit, all living under one roof, Singapore. So today we have a very funny man. His name is Mr. Fucker Faz. So he has came a long way from being a security guard at the condominium to having his own 1 hour comedy special at Esplanade. In Faz We Trust. Faz has performed in Hong Kong, Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, and more recently made his debut at the Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. Faz is also the champion of stand-up competition, Stand Up for Singapore, both in 2012 and 2013. We spoke about his journey as a comedian, his adolescence years growing up in Malaysia, and some of his inspiration, routines, and habits. So, if you want to be a little funnier in life, this is Fucker Faz.
If I want to talk to people in the camera, I should look here.
Like, just look anywhere. There's like the camera's like everywhere.
All right,
Okay,
cool.
just like look to me.
It's a multi-cam situation. If you all don't know this, we're in the middle of an industrial area. This is exactly the place people go to get murdered. Okay, but I'm hoping for a rape. So for myself, really, but I'm gonna be very disappointed if this doesn't happen to me. Only applies to me though. Okay, rape culture should not be advocated ever. No means no. Remember that.
Hey, so fast. Like I think like the funniest thing I want to ask is that. So why Fucker Faz? But I actually don't know your real name.
My real name is Muhammad Fazli bin Abdul Rashid. Okay. Now I don't use it because I think Fucker Faz. First of all, it's a funny name. Okay, and also it was given to me by a good friend.
Oh.
Yeah. We were in a paintball team. And they had Ivan the Snake, Thomas the Tank, and they were like, Faz, what you want to be? And Tom came up to me and he went like, yo, just Fucker Faz, man. And I'm like, oh, what is that? Just put it in, it just sounds great. It sounds like the real thing, but it's not the real thing. You can say it's Arabic, and every time somebody asks you can give a different story. So every time anybody asks me, what, like, why Fucker Faz, I always tell them, either my name's Fakaruddin, or... I have Arab blood, and that is an oil field city in Iraq, or something, it's either I have Arabic blood or I decided it is a cool name to go with. So.
But then, do you know that it was like, is it like the proper spelling, or how do you get the spelling? Because I was trying to fucking text you, right?
Yeah.
And it's always like, it changed the F to an M.
Yeah, of course, because my real name is Muhammad Fazli, so assume if you're texting a Malay guy, they'll be going, would you like M or A for Ahmad or N for Nurul or Noor? Malay people like to name their kids like in Singapore, either Muhammad or Noor. Muhammad is after the great prophet, but Noor means light. If you don't know, Noor, it means light. And it's funny that Malay people would name their kids, after light, because, just in case they hope that, they will help them pay the light bill one day. No, yeah, yeah, man, I mean, the name is I tried to change it, but it's stuck. And people like it for that, and I just roll with it. And now, radio says it, TV says it, and the newspaper says it. So,
And now you got a website. You got a website now. You got a website.
Oh my God, I made you guys, like, it's a little joke in my head, but I can't believe you guys are saying this. Right, all of you are saying this. You're saying Fucker Faz.
Every time people say your name, is like swearing.
But it's not swearing.
But the thing is, I think it's an inside joke that every time you say it, it's like,
Within myself, it's like, on national television, on TV, in the papers, on radio, they just go, we're with Fucker Faz, and I'm going like, oh my God, it's just happening right now, under your noses, you guys don't even know, this is great. It's like a little child in me that goes like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah.
So let's rewind a little bit and talk about just your childhood, man, like when you grow up. I know, it's like, it's Malaysia, right? You spent a lot of time in Malaysia.
I spent my childhood in Malaysia. I spent my adolescent years in Malaysia. Like, I spent my teenage years in Malaysia.
That's like how old can you put us? Like
15 to 17. Yeah, like Sec 1, they call it Form 1 to Form 5. But Sec 1 to Sec 5. Primary school here. Right. Childhood here. I mean, growing up, I got a taste of both worlds, man. I got a taste of Singapore. And when I was in Malaysia, it was like practically Singapore back in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s even, So they had very basic things, basic needs. I guess it really taught me how to deal with like, sparse situations, where you don't have like the luxury of having a bus every 10 minutes, They don't have that. You miss one bus, you gotta wait a half an hour for the next one to come, man. You better go and buy some cigarettes or something. No, I was a kid, so no, I gotta go ask an adult to buy me a cigarette. so yeah lah. So I got to live there.
Singapore though, like, were you? I mean, what school? Can you play like secondary school? No, so secondary school you are.
No, primary school over here, I went to Mei Chin Primary School. Actually, we moved a lot. Yeah, we moved a lot. I was in Braddell Primary School for primary 1, and after that I went to
That's a pretty infamous, isn't it?
yeah. GMA, no, but I was too young to know anything. So I was at GMA Primary School, Yishun, and after that I went to Mei Chin Primary School for. I swapped 3 schools. We moved a lot, man.
Right. You were easy. Do you like make a fuss out of it or?
No, I didn't because I half the time I just didn't. I look forward to it, like meeting new people, new friends and everything. I don't have like those kind of that one friend when you grew up from young to now because we moved a lot. Right. But I kind of look forward to like meeting new people. I was like, oh man, I'm going to new school, new friends. Yeah, I always had this ability to adapt well to any kind of environment.
Back then, when you're young, you're already like friendly. Yeah, so like you're like the very non-Singapore stereotype where you actually like to make friends, Because like Singaporeans, they'll be like, when you go talk to them, they give you this weird face, and you're like, why are you talking to me, sir? Why are you talking? Yeah. So you're like more opposite, like you're friendly.
Yeah, they definitely don't like strangers talking to them, Singaporeans. Yeah, and you know why? It's very simple. Because our country is safe. And everybody lives in this safe bubble. Yeah. So when you live in a safe bubble, you don't want any external factors to jeopardize that safe bubble that you have, Like as opposed to people in Malaysia or people in other countries where they don't live in a very 100% safe and sterile environment, they're like, they welcome anything is because they're not afraid of these things coming into their own little safety net or safety circle. But in Singapore, because it's so safe, it's kind of like the opposite. It's kind of like the bad side of what will happen if it becomes too safe in the country. It's kind of like I don't know, like a double-edged sword. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you're nice and friendly, and you change school. You make a lot of friends when you're young, and most of them are Chinese, like Chinese school.
When I was in secondary school, I went to a private school in Malaysia. There was all Chinese Malaysians who already met at the Malay population in Malaysia for the Bumiputra policy, and to add that on, I'm Singaporean. So you can imagine how awesome high school was for me, like it was like a 99%. I was the only Malay kid in school, okay, and these are Chinese Malaysians who already hate Malays in Malaysia for being all the Bumiputra shit, and they already like, oh, chiba, they hate Singaporeans some more. Oh my god, I wouldn't have been a comedian if I didn't go to that school. Shit. Oh man, the amount of bullying is insane.
But like, why do you even like move back to Malaysia when you're 13?
That wasn't my choice. My parents wanted to move there. So okay. Yeah, my parents wanted to move there. My parents thought it would be a smart idea for them to start a business there. Right. But I think...
And that's like been...
No, Malacca.
Malacca, okay.
So things didn't really work out for them. So I was already halfway through school. So they wanted a sense of continuation. So they went back and then they left me there. And I was there. I was staying in a hostel with a couple of my friends. There, and they were all Chinese also.
And so you went there alone. It's like a sort of like a solo mission. No family.
No, just me, man.
Just you and
just me.
I mean, because of your friendliness, you get to make some friends.
Yeah.
And they were all Chinese.
That's how I learned to adapt, man. Yeah, that's how I learned to adapt. And Malacca is a very Chinese majority.
Correct.
So that's where you learn to like sort of you gotta.
Do they like accept you? Yeah.
Yeah, because I learned how to speak Mandarin. Yeah. It's just I think it's because I took the time to actually adapt to them, and it's a thing, man. If you learn about like mixing with people, you gotta have some sort of special skill that makes them, look at you and want to be your friend. You can't just be a normal plain person. Unfortunately, that's how the world works. So I was there, and the fact that I spoke Mandarin, they were like, oh my god, who's this guy? And I also played the guitar. Okay, not the best, but better than everybody who was there.
What's your song back then?
Dude, any like 4-chord melody or whatever, I learned some metal riffs that I got very well. I played on an acoustic with inch-high actions, just fucking, and they were like, oh, okay, Faz, come play us something, So I was always the center of attention over there. So that's how I sort of adapted, As much as there was a bunch of friends that accepted me, there was also the people from back when I was in the early secondary, when I haven't developed my talent or whatever, when they were bullying me. So when I was growing up, it was more like I got bullied the first 2 years, but once I've discovered my skill, everybody wanted to be my friend, and then they started to like, hey, don't touch this boy, this.
So you got your homies to like...
Yeah, I got homies So that's where you learn about how to adapt. You know, it's more of like you've got to have something to offer people. Because if you don't have anything to offer people, naturally you just be ignored. You're like a rock. You know, you just be ignored, and nobody will.
You wouldn't be a rock because you're the Malay kid in the Chinese school.
Yeah, and you will you stick out like a fucking sore thumb. Yeah.
So like, I mean, like moving from like Singapore to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Was there like any like vast difference of like the schools? I mean, like anything you remember?
Yeah, man. I think kids in Singapore are very pampered.
And that's only primary school.
Yeah. Kids in Malaysia, man. I mean, they already walk home when they are like when they're young. When they are 7, you see a little kid just walking home past like the jungle or something. It's nothing to them.
Really?
Yeah. But kids in Singapore, they're very used to because of how safe our environment is. How
Back then there was like the whole like the maid come to pick you up kind of culture.
man,
No?
Where I was, no.
I mean Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, where in Singapore, you have a lot of those kids are very pampered here.
When you're in primary school, I assume like do someone pick you up in school?
Nah, nobody.
You took the bus.
I had my parents pick me up until I was like primary 2, and then they were like, "You figure your way home. This is the bus number. You know, good luck."
Also, you got
Yeah.
Bus, and back then it was never even easy card, right? It was like coins or something.
Oh, dude, I used to spend my bus money and just cheat my way on the bus all the time. I used to like steal rides. I used to like sneak because I was so small. I was so small, so I was sneaking in between the adults, and I was gonna. Oh man, it was an extra 30 cents, but so worth it.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, this is
One thing that I did when I was young in primary school. So I saw neighborhood school around here in Serangoon at Yangzhen. And then like I remember like when I was in primary school, right? I would like during recess time they call it. I would walk around the drain, and then like I would just like look down. So I was actually looking for coins in the drain lah. And then like you spot 10 cent or 20 cent. You'll be like the happiest thing that because 20 cents could buy you that animal pokey.
Whatever, animal pokey, you know. I used to like, my mom would give me $1, you know, and I will spend all the money on the tikam machine, and then I'll arrive to school with only 10 cents. And I'll like stay hungry for the rest just because I can collect like, I don't know, Dragon Ball cards or something.
Was it back then? Was it the thing? Dragon Ball?
Wrestling cards was more the thing. Yeah, it was
mine
more
was like
Country Eraser, like
Country Razor too, you know. Yeah, but I wasn't really much of that. I can't really remember much, but yeah, man, those were the things like catching, all that. You know, kids don't play that shit anymore. Huh?
yeah.
Kids don't play that shit anymore.
what do you think they play these days? Salapi Jewett?
They play their iPad, and the idea of hanging out with their friends is to be on the same network. You know, that one of their friends created on fucking Maple Story or some shit.
Or Maple Story is even old already.
Dota, sorry. Dota is the thing. Dota. I mean, no offense to people who play Dota. You know, I'm sure you guys have some fun. But yeah, I miss seeing kids at playgrounds, man. You don't see that shit anymore, you know? You don't see, I mean, I go to neighborhoods, all the playgrounds are not used, you know, and I guess I can't blame the kids also. If you look at the playground sometimes, what the fuck is this shit? Like, you know, you have a wheel and you have 2 levers that go up and down like that. And I'm like, what is this for? This is...
People who design
Same playground. You gotta work on it.
I'm like, what? If I was a kid, I wouldn't have any idea. Like, old people use playgrounds more than young people nowadays. Right?
That's how it's being advertised, what?
Yeah. It's nuts, right? Whatever happened to like, you know, kids block catching and shit?
After Singapore and you moved to Malaysia, what were they playing, man? I mean, I'm just like, interested, like.
I was in my teens, man. So
like secondary school. So
But that was also puberty, right?
yeah. So what did I used to do? I used to play guitar a lot. I used to watch a lot of TV. I memorized every single Eminem album, all the way up to Master to Blow Up. So there was a lot of. I think that's where I first got introduced to the hip hop culture. I was in a band. At the same time, I love listening to hip hop. I was very into music, lah.
Right.
Yeah, when I was a kid. Yeah, I was very into performing. All I knew is I wanted to be some kind of a performer.
The band it was Malaysia lah.
Yeah. I was in a punk band, man, in Malaysia. Silent Ambush. That was the name of the band.
Actually, it's a good name.
Yeah, Silent Ambush.
silent.
That's the name of the band. And then we
So
had,
you were like
Performing in school, like like pubs or wherever.
no. We were just jamming. We were kids, man. You know.
I mean, the name sounds cool, so I thought like, be like, yo, Silent Ambush.
I know.
And I would totally like shout for it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I should really reuse that name sometime. Yeah, but Silent Ambush was the name of my band. And then after that, I think we got when I was in Malaysia, like, you know, it was a lot of that, a lot of hanging out with friends, and also like getting into the whole music culture of it. There was a growing band scene, and there was also a growing hip hop scene there.
Yeah.
So although a lot of the band scene didn't really like the hip hop guys, you know.
That's
There's a little bit of I don't know. It's always, I was a little bit of both because, you know, not many of them were very proficient in English back then. So I guess they didn't really understand what the raps meant. So I guess that's why they didn't really get into it. But, you know, for me, I understood.
Right.
So I was listening to the raps, and I was also listening to the punk songs, and
Right.
and it was a big time, man. 2001, it was a big time where rap rock was big back then. You know, rap rock was big. Like, you know, you had bands like what was it? Okay, we had Limp Bizkit, and then we had Deftones, we had all those big rap rock, Rage Against the Machine, all those rap rock bands. Yeah. So Kid Rock also did rap rock, I think, at that point of time. Yeah, so everybody was doing rap rock. So a big part of my teenage years was very focused on that.
So did you so Silent Ambush, they got out from the basement to...
Never. I think some of the guys are still in the basement right now. You know, fucking.
So I know. so like Silent Ambush was like, and then do you form another thing to do hip hop, or was just like hip hop was just on your own to just listen to it?
It's a hobby, yeah. But it wasn't until I reached Singapore that I discovered that I realized that I want to do stand-up comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when I think it was when
You moved back, right? Because it's the parents.
parents moved back. Right after O levels, I moved back.
Yeah.
Then that's where I realized that okay, I think I want to do stand-up comedy lah.
Do you do okay in O levels?
I know. Who does?
Do you mind sharing the?
I mean, I forgot lah. I couldn't get to any school.
Do you pass?
No, I aced English. I got distinction for English. That's all. Then the rest of it, I think I failed very badly. And the thing is, even if you have because you have a Malaysia cert, so you can't go to a Singapore school if you have those kind of results.
GC?
It's GC, but it's just that you can't. It's equivalent, but it's just that you can't.
Because the bell curve is in Malaysia.
Yeah, and that's one. And also because I failed maths, and also I couldn't get into any school. I couldn't get into any ITE. People in Northlight get to ITE, you know. Northlight is a special school, and those kids get to go to ITE. And I was rejected for ITE, so I am below retardation. I'm just sorry, not retardation. I'm going to rephrase it if you want to edit it. I am below a mentally disabled kid. I am below that. You know, in terms of Singapore education standards, they put me below. Yeah. So.
And so like that was O level. After O level, you came back at 17, right?
17, yeah.
And then you were trying to get into school.
I was just trying to find work that I wasn't bored doing.
So is it work, or is it like what was your direction when you came back to?
None really. I was just thinking about like, okay, I know I want to be a performer of some kind, you know.
Oh, so you do? Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to do, but I was really into stand up at that point of time. I watched Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, and I was like, oh man.
And then remember I asked about it, right? Because it's how the hell do you find these people back in the days? Because I remember, like, for me, right, I dance. I remember, like, watching this, like, poppers, like, popping. I forgot how I got the video, though. Do you remember how you got those videos, like, you know, Dave Chappelle, Chris?
Yeah, man, back then, Kaza,
Yes.
Kaza was a big thing. LimeWire, man, those kind of I think now you call them torrents, but back then I didn't know.
I don't
File
know,
sharing.
P2P or...
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. You know, wasn't a rich kid back in school. And you know, if I wanted to buy those things, you know, there's no place in Singapore that sells them anyway.
That's
you know,
true. So
you
you gotta take it from the internet.
Yeah, you gotta take it from the internet. So that's how I got, I got my shit, which is now why
But back then you were still like punk rock and then rap and then stand-up comedy is just a new thing that adds on to like the array of interests that you like to do lah.
Yeah, it was the thing that was in me because when I formed the band here and I was like
Was it Silent Bush?
no, it was a new name. I think it was Slap Shocked with the ED. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was an ex-Japan tribute band.
Okay.
So we only played ex-Japan songs.
Oh, that's
so yeah. So a lot of times, I think rock and roll was big also back then. So everybody was like, it was a rise of rock and roll bands. You know, it was like there was Gutter Bones, Bad Obsession, 5 o'clock, Secret Sex, all these all these bands that play rock and roll, you know, very, very underground bands. Then
So you came back and you formed the band while trying to look for job and school maybe.
formed a band, and those bands got to know. So because I also sang, and you know, and they liked.
guitar and singer.
I was a guitarist, but I went to become a frontman because I like the whole idea of being a frontman.
Yeah.
So when they saw, they were like, hey, why don't you host our gigs instead? You know, instead of singing, you know.
Right. But place us then too, because I remember like then you also got a job somewhere to get money.
Yeah. I was working odd jobs, you know. I was doing security. Yeah, I was. I was doing like security. I was doing any place like Park Lane mall. I did shopping malls, and also I was like a floater. So I did shopping malls,
Whoever that's like on leave, then you go in and like sort of like fill the position.
condominiums also. So I was just doing that, man. And at the same time, I was like, I started hosting these gigs
The bar was it at Katong
at Park Lane. Yeah, it's called Gossip Bar.
Gossip Bar.
Yeah. So we did that, and then you know, then I started hosting, and then that's why I got to stand up, man. And I was like, okay, I should try this, man. This is fun, you know, talking to people, everybody laughing, shit. So okay, this sounds fun.
Yeah.
So really things just snowball, you know. And at the same time, I was like, okay, I probably should do something. I should do something in my studies. So that's where I got into. I went to mass comm at MDIS. Yeah, but you know, I think kids that take mass comm, you really know what you want to do. A lot of the kids, they take media mass comm. It's just to waste time because you don't know what the fuck you want to do with your life, right? So I think you really got to figure it out while you're doing it. And at the same time, like, you know, and the method that I had through was just hard punch all the way to wherever you got to go. You know, just don't stop punching until you find something. Yeah, but a lot of the times, I believe that some of the guys that you go to mass comm and they graduate, they don't even do what they're supposed to do in mass comm, you know. So yeah, so I did that. So that's, and the rest is just, you know, getting to know people, do shows, and the next thing you know, like, oh shit, you're part of a new movement that's starting to move. And it is
Was that like, would you say that was like one of the, were you having fun while doing all that? Because you know, like you're not in like a nice job, right? And plus army, so how did that fit in, like army?
I didn't go to army, man. I was in the police force.
Oh yeah, right. Really?
Yeah, I was in the police force.
Fit into like
I didn't do stand-up comedy when I was in police force. You know, I was busy just being you know, I was busy just being me. You know, in the police force, I was like, okay, I got 2 years, and everybody knows this. If you go to NS, you know, 2 years is a good excuse for any Singaporean guy to go like, oh, okay, at least that's 2 years where I don't have to think about my future. That's 2 years I don't have to think about anything because it's 2 years I get off. Anybody come and ask me a question, I say I'm in army. So all my life, every time I get a job, it's so that I can like, somebody ask me like, what are you working as now? I can like give them a good answer without them asking me further, you know. So when they say, what you doing now? I'm in the army. Okay, no further questions. You know, it's always like that. And especially during like Hari Raya or Chinese New Year, say that your relatives come, what are you doing now? In the army. Okay, no further questions, right? So when I was in the army, I was really when I was in the police. Sorry, I was very happy. But at the same time, like, you know, I was a MPCC instructor.
yes.
I would teach kids how to shoot guns. Wow, man, you couldn't have given that job to a better person. You know, to teach kids how to shoot guns, right? So I taught them that, and that's where I learned like public speaking. You know, and you know, in life.
I mean, like, so you told me that like that's all is like the pinnacle, and it also add on and stacks on top of each other. So there's the front man of the band, and then after that there's MPCC as teaching, and then people were asking you to host like the punk band shows. But you sort of took every opportunity that came along your way.
Yeah. Even when after after NS, I worked as a waiter, and then I got fired from that job. And then because I like arrived 1 hour late or something like that, I got fired from that job, and I met like a guy that said like, hey man, I've got this vacancy at this paintball park. So I was like, oh, okay, you go there and become a paintball facilitator. I was like, okay. So I went and I became a paintball facilitator, and that's where, you know, you learn public speaking for everywhere, man. You really, if it's not the end of the world if you fail the O levels, basically. Okay, kids, you know, that's what Singapore wants you to think. Okay, they want you to think that O-level is what determines your life. Okay, it doesn't. It's in fact the farthest thing from what determines what happens in your life. Okay, you don't need what.
Life just started.
Oh my God, O-levels is just like, if you fail, don't even cry, because you know what? You got your whole life ahead of you. Nobody can tell you what you can and cannot do. You know, you got all these opportunities that you can take. There's so many courses you can take. There's so many things you can learn from the streets, and And it's so evident even in a place like Singapore. That's why I don't believe when people say they don't have a chance, they don't have an opportunity. It's like, you never took it, you know? You never took it. Like, I came from nothing, man. I came from like no. I didn't come from a rich family. I didn't come from like a fancy educational background. All I had was just charisma and will and a good attitude. And if you have these three things, you know, you will survive in any place, because if you got likability and people like you, they always want to give you whatever opportunity that comes within their way, and they want to include you in it, and they always want to make you feel like a part of their family. So I think it's important for us, especially to break the mold of what Singaporeans always think, you know, like, oh, I failed I flung my diploma, or I flung my O levels. That's it. That's the end of my life. Nah, kids kill themselves over. You believe that? Kids kill themselves over that shit. You know, I have a friend who works in like a kids gym, you know, or like a kids kindergarten. You know, and parents come to them and go like, oh, has he learned his spelling today, or has he learned his math? You need to pressure him more. It's a kid.
Yeah.
Let the kid be a kid. Right? Let the kid go out, make mistakes, do stupid things. Let the kid be a kid. It's gonna.
I really agree with you.
Yeah. Let the kid be a kid. And in turn, you don't even listen to the kid or talk to the kid or even ask the kid what he's interested in. You're so bent on trying to make the kid, you know, something that you are proud of. And it's not for the kids, it's for you. Yes. You want to feel proud. You want to feel good. You know, not the kid. Right? So I think a lot of Singaporeans, especially, is very evident in our country that we need to stop thinking that it's the end of your life if you're not good at academics. You know, like that famous Einstein quote. They say like, you know, like I think
I know what's that. The only thing that interferes with your learning is your education.
Well, that's one, and that's a good quote, by the way. But I was gonna go like, you know, you will never I was gonna go, you will never judge the ability. I think it's something that goes along like you'll never be able to judge the intelligence of a fish by asking it to climb a tree or something like that. Yeah, you know, you can't ask a fish to climb a tree, some shit like that, you know. Yeah, because it's to show that everybody has different abilities, you know. Yeah.
But you didn't grow up with that pressure, because like your parents pretty chill.
No.
But do you think that Singapore as a whole give you that pressure, like societal pressure, wanting you to sort of like do the normal thing, you know?
I think I never paid attention to any of that pressure. Because you know what? Because I never had to go through that kind of pressure. Because I was never a straight A student. I was good in English, but I was never a straight A student, and I was never a high achiever when it comes to academics. So people didn't have that kind of expectation of me, and I think that worked to my benefit, because it didn't sort of give me the kind of like, oh, you know, I gotta pass this, I gotta pass that. You know, it's not that I didn't care about my studies, I did. But, you know, I just wasn't interested in it. I just wasn't interested in learning about algebra. Yeah. You know, I was like, oh man, there's letters in there, you know? Like, why do I gotta add numbers and letters? Just didn't make sense to me. So I just decided to learn other things. And when you, dude, like we need to really live, like look outside our bubble. There's a lot of things that you can learn when it comes to.
Sure, I think people should travel more, and that's one way to see like how other people live their life, and maybe, you know, and they did. I mean, I meet when I was traveling in America, I meet carpenters, and that's so awesome. Yeah. They make stuff, you know, like I don't think like how many people in today's society actually know how to make stuff, right?
Carpenting is a beautiful skill, man. Carpenting, plumbing, you know, being an electrician or building a house. These are things that will come useful to you if you ever get stranded on an island. That's you know, right? Like people like me or any of my friends, we're fucking useless if we get stranded on an island. Nobody, my friend's a DJ, you know, my other friend's a counselor, my other friends are, my Sandra's a fucking musician and a yoga practitioner, you know, and other one's a rock climber. Okay, maybe rock climber. Okay. No lah, still no. You know, none of us know how to build a house. None of us know how to make fire. Yeah. So, you know, I think we like today I was just discovering I was just thinking to myself, like, there's a lot of things you don't know, and there's a lot of things you don't know. Oh, for sure. Yeah. So things like that is, you know, like you know, the basic skills of what you need to have, like, you know, building a house, or maybe like painting a house or something like that, you know, or building anything.
Is there anything you want to like learn that, you know, you wish you could, like a skills, yeah.
I have thought about this. I've given some thought about this. Yeah. I've picked up martial arts this past few. Yeah. This
Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
Muay Thai. I learned a bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu also. So I picked up martial arts, and also if I would learn anything, I think I would want to learn how to carpentry. I definitely learn carpentry. Yeah, definitely. Because I never got past. When I learned it a bit in school, I was pressured too much, and the tools were very basic. I know a poor carpenter blames his tools, but I'm just saying you guys got more awesome tools now that I can use. Yeah, right. So
I should connect you with my friend Rafi. I actually built like a little hut outside my house lah.
really,
So it's like take a book. I don't know. I'm gonna show you, man. It's a take a book, leave a book.
yeah.
So it's a little I'm recording, but it's basically a little house that like people take a book, leave a book, lor. Yeah. And my friend Rafi, who runs Plain and Bevel, I think is one of the only carpenters like doing really really good job.
Those are the kind of jobs that you never go hungry, because people always need, right? Or cooking. Oh, dude, that's exactly. I want to learn cooking more than I want to learn carpentry.
sure?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Cooking more. Yeah, that's what I want to learn. Yeah, cooking is awesome, right? That's what you need to learn. You need to
What can you cook like these days?
I can cook chicken curry. I can cook. Yeah. I can cook chicken curry. I can cook some Malay dishes. All learned from my mom.
Oh, so you can cook.
Yeah, I can, but I don't practice. Because I live on my own, and I live with a bunch of boys, and it'd be weird if I cook and I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, bro. We're going out to eat some steak. Cooking shit in here, come on. Yeah.
I mean, so what I'm like interested about is like, you live a pretty like rough life, I would say.
Okay.
I
I got no basis for comparison, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think is like the toughest period in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say after national service. Yeah. Because that's where reality really hit you. Like, what are you going to do? You got nothing to do. That's where reality really hit you good.
Us like at that point, like what were you doing, and why was it tough, and like
I was, okay. After national service, I didn't have any paper qualifications to get a job in Singapore, or a proper job in Singapore. I didn't know anybody from the media to get into the media. I didn't know anybody in the performance circle to be able to perform regularly. So all I had was this band that I joined or that I formed. And those contacts, and that's it. But I was working as a waiter, earning about $900 per month. That's barely enough to pay anything, and that leaves you like $200 to $300 to live in a whole month. So and if you minus your, dude, I don't even know how I do that. Yeah, so
that was like the first month coming out of NS. Like,
yeah. First
and then
month
you got the waitering job.
Yeah.
And you got 900 a month.
Yeah.
And you still got the band.
Yeah. So it was really making miracles happen at that point of time. I used to like sit down and really think like, oh man, what am I gonna do? But I didn't really stress too much about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I know that as long as I get to have fun doing what I like to do, I'll be okay. Yeah, and sometimes that is a concept that I admit that I forget moving forward. Like I had that kind of mindset, and that mindset took me to where I am.
Yeah.
But now, because you're already in a place where you can move forward, you see a direction, and you're always so bent to want to make it.
Yeah.
And then you forget like, hey man, the initial idea was for you to just have fun,
Correct.
and do what you like to do. So you always need to keep reminding yourself and be grateful for what's given to you. So
how do you get past that period?
Oh, slowly, man. It took years, man. It took years. I slowly passed that period. It's just like,
So it's tough because you have no money.
yeah. But
And you're living on your own
you
back
see,
then.
no, I wasn't. I was living
your
with my mom.
parents.
My mom.
Okay.
So I think, okay, this is honest. I'm not trying to be cliche or whatever, but it really, this is really what got me out of that hole, is knowing what I want and what I don't want, and not letting society or any kind of like Singaporean mentality pressure me into thinking that I cannot do it. Like for example, like you say, oh no, you can't do it because you got no money, you got no job, whatever. But they don't think that way. But I went like, no, fuck it, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So I'm gonna drop everything. I'm gonna think about what I want to do, and I'm gonna start from there. And whatever I want to do, I'm gonna put 100% into it. And when I put 100% into what I dedicate my attention to, it will progress by itself. It will prosper by itself. So now when I look back, that was what happened. But back then I was just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to have fun. Right. So the moment I told myself I want to have fun, I got the job. Thankfully, I got the job as a paintball facilitator at the paintball club, at the paintball company, Red Dynasty Paintball Park. So those people really, they helped me out. I was having so much fun. I was meeting friends. I was meeting people. I was always had a group of friends that I was very close to over there, and we had fun working. It didn't feel like work. And at the same time, I also learned a lot of public speaking skills. Like I mentioned before, and even my bosses, they were like, "Hey man, you want to learn mass comm?" They like loan me money to take my course, my diploma, and they said like pay us back whatever. And it's good. It was a good. Everything happened for a reason, and that was good because as I went through it, I realized that I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything. Even like the only regret I probably have is I didn't get into YouTube when YouTube was hot. Yeah, that's the only thing I regret. Yeah. Out of all of that, I was like, if only I had a chance to capitalize on the YouTube thing. But if I did, it would probably been a different path for me anyway.
That's true.
Right? If I did, I would have been probably a YouTuber or something, right?
Do you reckon like you own your success to like any one person? Or like a few,
Yes, myself. Okay. No lah. I think a lot of people helped me along the way.
Yeah. Any significant?
I think the comedy club, definitely. People from the comedy club Asia, they helped me up a lot. Jonathan Atherton, Hizri. Yeah, these two people Jonathan Atherton actually, he's an Australian comic. He's a brilliant guy. Okay. Great comedian. Took me out when he saw me perform at one of the nights. That club, that comedy night closed. Oh. So he used to host nights at this club. If you remember clearly, if you go to Boat Quay back then, there was this stand-up club called One Mic Stand. One Mic Stand, very old club. It was back when I was 18. Yeah. So the age limit was 21. Yeah. So I told my friends when I was 18, I looked at it, I said, hey, when I reach 21, I'm gonna perform at this place. Y'all watch. Okay, right. Can. The moment I reached 21, the whole fucking place closed down. Cause that's fucking Singapore lah. Fucking the club cannot last Singapore more than 5 years. Yeah. They always close down. So that guy who was from that club, went on to look for local comedians. So he scouted local comedians, and for some reason he got my Facebook and he contacted me on Facebook and said, "You want to do 5 minutes? At this show." So I went and did 5 minutes at this show. I opened for him. And I opened for him at this show, and it was 5 minutes, just go bam, 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 5 minutes. And he was like, oh, that's a good 5 minutes, But, it was there, but it's raw, And then he gave me a little tip. So maybe you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. You should say it this way, you should carve it this way, that way. And I was like, okay. So the next time I went to Blue Jazz, and he had this weekly comedy night called Talk Cock Comedy. Yeah. So once he did that, I was like, okay, boom, start. So and I did well for that night, and he was like, all right, man, you're opening for me when I go to KL. I'm doing my headliner special in KL, you open for me. I fly you down, sleep in my hotel, and man, I slept in this hotel after the show. It was a good show, but on the same day, yeah. So I slept, I slept in on his floor. Yeah. So, but we had a futon and everything, so I slept on his floor. But the thing is, he had his girlfriend over. He just had his girlfriend over. Chiba, and they thought I was asleep. But I wasn't asleep, fuck. And they started having sex on the bed, They started having sex on the bed. Here's the thing. Here's the bro dilemma. Here's the bro dilemma you have, okay? If you make a noise, your boy's not gonna get laid, right? And that's gonna be on you.
You'd be like,
yeah. If you make noise and say, hey guys, I'm awake, the girl will be like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed, and the guy's not gonna get laid. I can't do that to my friend, right? So I gotta keep quiet, but I can't sleep. So I gotta fucking listen to every the whole night. Man, that was just, oh my god, yeah. But that's the price you need to pay, man, if you didn't go to school.
I love it. Man. And I mean, like, this guy really took you in. Yeah.
Yeah, he showed me the ropes, basically. He didn't guide me 100%, but he showed me what needed to be done. Like what I didn't see.
In terms of like
performance.
Your skills?
Performance, yeah.
Okay.
He's
the one to book you gigs too?
A lot of the gigs, he booked. Yeah, a lot of the gigs he booked. And he really like he sort of like gave me that push. So that push is very important. So when he gave me that push, I managed to sort of capitalize on that. And and soon if you work hard enough and then you put enough years to things, you know, people will always notice you, and they'll notice you, and you'll notice your hard work.
Yeah.
And yeah, I say good attitude. People always want to work with you.
I mean,
You know?
I'm sort of like, this is what I'm interested in, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you have that like hunger in you back then. 'cause you-
Yes. Ramadan's coming. I'm gonna have that hunger for a whole month.
Yes.
Next year. When is this out?
I don't know. I mean, you were out.
No. This is
do you have any date you wanted?
No, I don't have any date. I'm just saying. I say Ramadan because Ramadan's happening next month. Fuck.
I'll try to get it out next month.
Okay, so it is Ramadan and I have that hunger. So continue.
Yeah, no, I mean, so what I was saying, you have like sort of hunger in you that, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have here. And I mean, that's what I noticed. But
Okay.
what I really want to sort of try to measure is that hunger.
Okay.
Back in the comedy club, right? Like, I just want to tell people because, you know, like, how did the money thing work? Like, was it just yeah, correct. Because
Okay,
I think
typical
people don't know
Singaporean
about
know this
this.
guy.
No, people don't know about this, and I just want to show them. I think that like there's actually no money involved,
No, of course there isn't.
and just like free drinks, maybe.
Yeah. The money thing doesn't work lah. You don't get paid lah. You don't get paid at all. But you gotta be good enough until somebody wants to pay you for it lah.
Right.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And
So that's how you, like in the community scene you get noticed is that you just do this nights for free.
these nights, you know, until you get really good, until somebody, it's like you learning how to play a guitar, you know. If you learn how to play 4 chords, people are not gonna, you know, immediately book you for gigs, right? You know, unless like your genre.
You know, I'm not trying to be Chinese here, but
Yeah.
like I just want to tell people like look, like this guy is not even getting paid lah, but he's still doing it, you know.
I wasn't getting paid back then. I am getting paid now lah.
Yeah, no, I mean like back then when you were starting and doing the shows and just like doing out and this thing still exists, right? Like this sort of platform for
New and upcoming comics always gotta remember, man. You if you don't do the unpaid gigs, you're not gonna get the paid gigs. You know, so you need to always do the unpaid gigs. Also, but pick which unpaid gig you wanna use. Don't fucking some random organizer has an event, ticketed event, and then he says he's gonna give you exposure, and then you know he's got like 100 to 200 to 300 people there all pay tickets, and then he says, oh, you just get to eat the food. I'm like, oh, fuck you. Okay, so no, but pick the right ones. Okay, pick the ones that won't exploit you. Pick the ones that you think that will actually give you the kind of exposure, for the lack of a better word, to the kind of crowd that you want. You know, so I will always say pick and choose your battles, but at the same time, you gotta pay your dues, man. You always gotta pay your dues. Yeah.
and you do it for how long before, you know, like you got like sort of like the guy notices you?
3 years, man.
Wow.
3 years. 3 years, and then the guy noticed me, and then he took me in, and then after that, I did it for another 6 years. 6 years I did it. Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, well, it is because I mean, 3 years, like, you know, most people wouldn't even have put in a year, and they're like,
I mean, I've seen a lot of people come and go. A lot of people come and go, man. They come, they do comedy, and then they have like a couple of good runs, and then suddenly they have like a couple of bad nights, and then they don't want to come back anymore. And I wouldn't want those people back anyway, because if you can't take the bad nights, then you don't deserve the good nights, you know? Yeah, you gotta have the good nights. You feel a lot better because you had the bad nights. Yeah, so you'll get like in a year you probably have out of 10 people that try, only 2 stay. Yeah, 2 are the true got heart on those that have the heart.
since we're on it, right? I mean, like, probably young comedians will be watching this. So, what platform do you recommend?
Come to the open mics, man. Come to the open mics, do the open mics, yeah, do the open mics, you know, do the open mics. Always start small first, do 3 minutes, do 5 minutes, and then go to 10 minutes, and you know, slowly, you know, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. Don't be too
Is there a
bent.
specific open night?
Huh?
Or just there's only one in town?
Well, they have I have my night Fridays with Fuzz, you know, and I have they have Talk Cock Comedy every Wednesday and Thursday. Those nights they have Comedy Masalas every Tuesday. So those nights are very, you know, okay. Some of the nights that Fridays with Fuzz and Comedy Masalas, they're not open mic nights.
Yeah.
They're show nights.
Yeah.
Right. So like Fridays with Fuzz, they're all there to see me, you know, and then who I bring on. But Comedy Masala is more of like featuring comedians.
Then you sort of need to show them like your stuff before it.
Of course, and they will run through recommendations like Umar, the one that ran comedy club, like asked me about this new kid, new Malay kid lah, Komarul. It was okay lah. I said okay, very raw, very raw. Haven't started talking about himself yet. Still doing jokes. You know, there's a difference between people telling jokes and people telling about their life story and making it funny. Which the latter is a lot better because people get to take away something personal. You know, and people get to know you better. So this kid is still starting, still new, still in his first year. But people have seen him grow lah. So I would say like I would like to see this kid grow because you know our industry needs new people. You know, we need new people because we are gonna try and move to another tier, and the grassroots of comedy still needs to be held down by a group of people that needs to be there. So yeah.
And I mean, like you mentioned about like the jokes versus like talking about yourself.
Yeah.
Do you went through the same like phase shift?
I'm still going through that phase shift. I think a lot of the times I know what to say to kill a room, or I know what to say to do it well. But learning from comedians like Kevin Hart or Eddie Murphy or even Dave Chappelle, when they talk about like their personal stories or their life, and I think people get to know you better. And when people like you personally, most of the stuff that you put out online becomes you know, material already. Like it becomes content. You know,
No one can take that away from you.
Yeah.
Because no one will hear your story.
Who could be you but you? You know, like who could be you better but you? You know, so it's the best formula, and it's original, it's honest, and it's how I believe stand-up should always be.
And why do you think it's so hard to do that?
Because people have, you know, put layers of protection over their real self. You know, they always have, these walls that they build, this facade that they put forward to people, you know. And when you actually tell about your life or in stand-up, when you open up, it's actually you're putting those walls down and saying, hey, this is my life. Right. You know, I don't have any defense mechanisms or any walls to put in front of you. This is just me and the mic and me telling my story and my feelings. And a lot of stand-ups, you have to put out your real emotion because you have to tell a story about how you felt in that situation. So you have to put out the real emotions and the words you use. Have to describe some insecurities and describe some, and that requires a lot of opening up, man. And
yeah, I mean, so I recently listened to Whitney Cummings.
Okay.
And she and she goes through a lot of this work too. Mm-hmm. And she herself, it's more like her personal like inner demons or
sure.
sort of because the childhood and everything. And
sure.
do you reckon like any comedians that go through the same thing? And that's why it's so hard, right?
I've never met a sane comedian before in my life. And the most depressed bunch of people I've ever seen. But you know what? They're good. They're very good at what they do.
The more depressed you are, there's a
I wouldn't say that, but I don't know. I mean, to quote Richard Pryor, you know, I don't know a good comedian whose life on stage is as good as his life off stage. Yeah. If his life is good on stage, it's likely off stage his life is very, you know, turbulent. Okay. Yeah.
And, maybe like what would you tell the young comedians these days? Like any advices you would give them? I mean, you mentioned go to open mics, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but if they are too young to go to open mics, then just be patient. Just keep writing. You know, believe in whatever you want to do.
So if there's like a track path, say for example, like from a 5 years thing, right?
Yeah.
What would you say, like, you know, for this 5 years, what this person should be doing?
Wow, stay alive lah. Stay alive and happy at this 5 years. You look, man, life is fragile, man. You don't have you see, you're asking me a wrong question. I don't have a 5-year plan.
Right.
You know, because life is so fragile. A lot of my friends, you know, some of my friends, they pass away. You know, and when you get to an age, you know, I'm 30 this year, man. You get to this age, you realize that shit, God doesn't always follow your plan. You know? So when that happens, then you've got to rethink about your priorities, and happiness, health is the number one priority over everything. You know, so I believe that you should put that forward, and that is something, again, in Singapore we don't, you know, we're always career, 5-year plan, 5 C's, whatever. Like, come on. There are people who die along the way trying to achieve those things, you know? Like, what's the point? Like, don't you live now? Like if you realize how minute and how, for trying to find the right word for this, okay, how how insignificant you are to this world, to this vast world, then you will realize that holy shit, your achievements and your pursuit it means nothing compared to being happy and healthy and alive and being able to love and laugh and talk and do what you like and you know and enjoy stuff like food and air and water. It's just some things that some priorities that I guess the media has set to sort of brainwash us to think that we should think of these things before others. But really, man, comedians, stay happy, stay alive, so you can write more material and you can actually make it on stage when you turn 18. Okay.
Let me just start with this question. How do you like deal with like haters, man?
I don't. I ignore them.
Just ignore them like straight out.
No lah. They hate because that's the highlight of their day. What?
What was the like most hated? I mean, I don't know, bro.
YouTube comments are usually the meanest. I had a YouTube comment that I mean, you know this.
Cause I don't know. I'm not on YouTube yet.
Yeah, but if you go on YouTube and you see videos, you will scroll down and you will see.
Oh, I know that it's mean stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of mean stuff on YouTube, and I think one of the YouTube comments was like, what's up, yeah? I will slit your throat and come on your face, and I was like, do you like me or not? You know, it's a little bit of a dilemma there. You know? Which one do you like? Like, slit your throat means you don't like me. You come on my face means you find me attractive. So. How
was that even the meanest? I mean, some could go.
That's funny lah. I don't see.
Cause I see that as funny.
That's funny lah. I don't see. Haters will just be on. Look, man, the internet is just out there to ruin your life, man. I mean, like whatever content you put on, it's just everybody that's out there. That there'll be as much as there'll be a bunch of people who will support and love you, and you should be thankful of those people. There'll also be a whole bunch of people that have nothing better to do with their lives than to hate on what you do. So those guys will come by and they will love nothing than to see their work succeed in crumbling you. You know, they will love that because that's the highlight of their day, because nothing goes on in their day. They're just sitting down there, you know, they're massively, unhealthily overweight, you know, and they're there on the computer. They have to type with a stick because their fingers are too fat, you know, and they have difficulty breathing, and they see someone doing so well, and they're like, oh my god, you know, I feel so mad. I should say something to this person to make sure he feels bad too. So a lot of the times, like, if you really didn't care or didn't like something, just click away, right? I mean, like, most of the time, like, if I don't like something, I'm like, that's not for me, I fuck off, right? But
you know what? I feel that is almost like what I do and what you would do. But then, like, a lot of people also, like, just have too much time on hand.
Yeah, why must you stop by and go like, oh my god, my opinion needs to be here right now? Like, no one gives a fuck about you as much as no one gives a fuck about me or whoever. Like as much as some people give a fuck about you, there's a whole bunch of other people who don't. And for you to always want to be heard by using other people's platform to going like, oh man, just so pathetic. But that's why I don't pay attention. I just go like, hate law. This is interesting. I like to read. I'm like, oh, nice, okay. Yeah, I can't be bothered. Yeah, I really can't.
So tell us about like what do you find? I mean, like, you came a long way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, 9 years, 3 + 6, and then.
In the industry, I was 6 years.
Yeah. I mean, you came a long, long way to where you are right now. I mean, also this is still like the tip of it, and you know, you're still growing so much more, right? Right now, though, what do you think like makes you happy, or like?
I think right now what makes me happy is
what do you enjoy most in your life this day?
I enjoy my work a lot. I really do. I really like the fact that my work now has become a big part of my life. You know, like comedy has become a big part of my life. I'm very, very grateful about that. I enjoy writing new stuff, new material, performing it, you know, exploring new things. And now that I have a whole bunch of friends who are very creative as well, you know, seeing them work hard makes me work even harder, you know. So I appreciate them, also their presence, and traveling really. I mean, right now I really feel like I really love traveling and learning a lot. Reading, I like reading books because I think you should never stop reading books, because, you know, even though you get bored halfway, just put it down, rest your eyes a little bit, watch some stupid Family Guy or something, and then funny though, stupid but funny, okay, and then you got to read again. Like, sometimes it's good, you know.
What I mean, speaking of reading, what do you read these days?
Books, I just read Snowing in Bali and Hotel K. It's two books about the drug trade in the drug trade and prison system in Bali. I think before this, after that I read something about like Comics Insights or something. Something like it was a book. It was a compilation of all the interviews done with all these famous comedians like Carlin and Chappelle and Ray Romano, all those people. And then there's this book that I'm trying to get into now. It's actually I'm right now in a part of my life where I want to learn more insights about like Singapore history and Singapore leaders. So I'm reading Hard Truths. And I kind of want to keep Singapore going. Yeah, Hard Truth to keep Singapore going. And then I'm also reading. I also want to read. Right after that, I'll probably read like Malay Dilemma, all these books by Mahathir, Lee Kuan Yew, all these Singapore history books. I'm right now. My research is on that because I'm planning to write another hour that's based on that. So that's where my reading goes. So it always has to complement what I do lah. Because I love my job so much, Because I love it because it literally saved my life. So I love my job so much. So whatever I do has to be in relations to what I'm working on. And TV shows, I'm actually thinking of watching Game of Thrones. I'm trying to get into Game of Thrones, man. I haven't watched a single episode, but once I'm in it, then it's sayonara to the world. Cause sayonara.
Like me, right? You're just like watch until you finish, and then you like finally will stop.
Sayonara social life. I want to get to Game of Thrones. So I'm not. This is pre-Game of Thrones Fuzz. Post-Game of Thrones Fuzz is gonna be a lot more excited. Okay.
You have like, if you recommend like one book to read, like.
Well, depends. Yeah, what kind of what you want.
So that I could like add it to my reading list.
I would really recommend you read those two books, Hotel K and Snowing in Bali.
Yeah? And it's like based on real stories.
Yeah, I don't read fiction. I mean, so far, I don't read fiction that much.
Okay.
Yeah, you should read those two books. Hotel K and Snowing in Bali. Oh my goodness, you will not look at Bali the same. Yeah, ever. Dude, I think there's a video that's circulating now of this ex-MMA fighter who got shot by like 9 Bali police officers or something. He got shot in broad daylight. Bah, 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 bah. That's crazy. Yeah, and they needed like 20 shots before he died. Fucker tough as nails, bro.
Like, why?
Huh?
I mean, like, is there a reason why he was shooting?
He was being a nuisance. I think he was like harassing people and he stabbed the police officer also.
Oh.
So yeah, he was being very violent. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably why it is 20 bullets, it's a lot of bullets.
It was like a massive firing squad. Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I mean, right now you're still gonna like continue to do comedy as, or are you gonna take a swing to, I mean, it's still performing, right? Because that's what you enjoy the most.
I am still doing comedy, but at the same time, like if I ever get bored or burn out, I'll do my rap stuff or my music stuff still. Yeah, I still do my music stuff. So that will still come in the way. But most of the time, I'll just, I just keep on doing what I love, man.
Doing what you love? Yeah. So...
A lot for you to edit.
That's okay. Okay, so like if you have a bus poster in a bus stop, or you have like the entire MRT carriage given to you, you can design anything and put anything you want. What would you?
They were working on it. Okay. Next.
Who are people you like to meet someday? If anyone.
Of course lah, my comedy heroes Chappelle or Chris Rock. Definitely want to meet them, pick their brain. But I think the more likely one, the more current one will probably be Kevin Hart. He's like the biggest right now. He's the biggest right now. So I really like to meet these great people and just pick their brain and really just talk to them and just find out what they do every day that makes them so big, and this is who I want to meet like actually.
YouTube maybe.
But if you're talking about practical, like who you really can meet, like I would like to meet like some big politician, like not if not Singaporean or Malaysian, whoever, like Singapore or Malaysia, like one.
Why?
Do it for the gram, man. I just want to have you know, handshake picture with the Prime Minister is going, you know? It's kind of like a checklist in your head.
right?
Checklist in your head, like, oh man, started from the bottom, now we're here, baby, you know?
I think you get there one day. I mean, it's not that far away. I feel pretty. Yeah. I mean,
It's more realistic, right? Like, I would like to meet the Prime Minister, or Malaysia or Singapore, doesn't matter. Any big politician, doesn't matter. But just have that one picture of me shaking his hand, going like that.
yeah, that's possible. Advice for your 18-year-old self, and place us like where you are right now.
Advice for my 18-year-old self: keep doing that. It doesn't make you blind.
And that was when you are.
Heavily into masturbation. Okay. No. Okay. To be serious, advice for my 18-year-old self. I think I'll just. You know what? I think. Okay. Don't get too caught up in relationships, because I was investing a lot of my emotions in relationships, which I felt that it was a waste because that energy could have been used somewhere else. Yeah.
How would you how would you not get caught up then? You know.
Yeah, you see,
It was
that's
tough,
the
bro,
thing.
man.
It's tough, right? When you're 18, when you're 18, you believe anything any
I
woman.
mean, if you were to time travel back when you're 18 and you tell him that,
when you're 18,
what would you?
when you're 18-year-old boy or girl, you believe anything a guy or a girl says to you, right? You fucking believe, oh, you really love me, you know. Regardless, both genders, you fucking, you know, you will believe it. So yeah, I guess things had to happen the way it did lah when I was 18. So I don't think, I would not. I'll just keep going lah, huh? Keep going, yeah.
Okay, and then
You're gonna sleep with a white girl someday. Just keep that in mind. Keep that. I hope that keeps you going.
I mean, we spoke about routines. So like, I mean, tell us some routines, or that is important to you on a day-to-day basis.
I gotta exercise at least once. Do at least one thing. Yeah. I can either Muay Thai or go gym or run or whatever. At least one thing. I must get that out of the way once. So I don't feel sick most of the time. And yeah, because if I do exercise, I feel sick. And then also it makes me less guilty for eating what I eat and drinking what I drink lah. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people who exercise and don't exercise. Those that don't exercise at all, they don't age very gracefully, and those that do, they age nicely. So I'm like, okay, so if this is what I have to do to still look good, then I'll just do it lah. Yeah.
okay, so exercise.
And it's also something that I enjoy. Yeah.
Okay, and then any like writings or routines or you just like write whenever?
Well, I write whenever I have an iPhone with me, I just key it in, or sometimes I have a pen and paper. I just. But I write whenever it hits me.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's very important. I also make it a point to meet my friends every day at least once, to have like a table discussion about anything.
But like, it's not like the same friend, or like just any friend?
Any friend, just to talk about, I hear him talk about his day, or just get in touch with people and what they do on an everyday basis, so that I can get it off them.
Yeah, and also like you see them doing so awesome stuff, and you just be like jealous. It's like, oh, why am I not working hard enough?
That's one thing, but I used to think that, but then it's a different road, man. For both, like somebody else's success doesn't equal to your failure.
True.
So you should always remember that, and you should always remember that your road is your road, and her road, his road is everybody else's road is different. So you know that saying where extinguishing somebody else's flame doesn't make yours shine any brighter. So I always feel that I always feel that it's best to apply that in your life. Yeah. So yeah.
And a person, when I say successful, who's the person that comes to your mind? We can take a time to think about it.
It depends on how you measure success, or what is successful to me, lah, right? Wow, that's a good question. I think a successful person, I couldn't think of anybody more than Kevin Hart, man.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Hart, because I've seen him. I mean, his journey is documented online with his stand-ups and how he thinks, and how he's making it, and in the movies and everything, and I believe that he has achieved that balance, or at least the way I see it. He has achieved that balance with his life and his fitness, his life, his family, his kids, and also his career. And that kind of balance to me is success. It's not about how much money he makes. He makes a lot of money, but it's the positivity and the balance that he's had, and the positive attitude that he has, that he always tries to bring forward to everybody. I believe that is, to me, a measure of success. And I really can't think of anyone when it comes to Kevin Hart, when it comes to success, except for Kevin Hart, at least for this present moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What are like some $100 or less gift that you bought for yourself that impacted you, like, most?
Let's give. I hate to say this. I haven't bought anything.
Like anything that you bought.
Shoes, all these new shoes, man. I got this for $9. Can you believe it? Okay, yeah, $9. You can never go wrong with these traders. Because you know why? I went to Footloose.
Okay.
This new shop that opened at Orchard Central.
Okay.
So the moment I entered, they invited me to come, and they were like, they invited, they were like, hey, come and check out our shop and everything. And I was with Shiga Shade, and Nick Cho and all my friends. And they were like, hey, Faz, here's a $120 voucher. Pick any shoe you want. So I picked these shoes because I never owned these shoes ever, and all my friends used to have these shoes back in school. So I bought these pair of shoes, and I used my $120 voucher. I got it for $9. So this, to me,
Comfortable?
is the best buy I've had this month. Best buy I've had this month. $9. Suck it. Yeah.
And what are some of the most common misconception about you or your work?
Okay, when you're always talking and making noise and being happy, people think that there's something wrong when you stay quiet. You know? Right? When you stay quiet, people always think like, hey, hey, something wrong. Sometimes people will misunderstand that, you being quiet is equals to you being sad or being angry at something, but most of the time it's not. It's really, sometimes you just want to take a moment to step back and just take a calm moment just on your own, just be quiet and just observe whatever's happening around. So sometimes people, the misconception that they have is that comedians are always happy and they are always lively, but that is far from what happens most of the time. Yeah. Oh man, if you hang out with these comedians, they're not depressed, but they're less active than they are on stage.
Okay.
Most of the time. Like Kumar is a dear friend of mine, and off stage he's just a normal dude. He just talks, no punchlines, no jokes, nothing. Yeah, just relax, just talking. You're a very regular guy, mixed with regular people. It's a nice guy. But he just, one thing I like about Kumar is he picks his friends. Yeah, he really does. If he chooses to be your friend, even if you're standing next to you, so he'll just block you out and he'll just talk to you. Wow. Even if you are like 3-4 people, if he chooses you and not the rest of them, he'll block all of them out and just talk to you.
But is it like a choosing in sense of like by random, or is there like a sort of like a criteria?
I wouldn't say criteria. No, I think you just talk to who is familiar with.
A nice Adidas shoe. Oh yeah, actually.
No, whoever he's familiar with. Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's a nice guy. Yeah.
This is actually a funny one. Do you find it hard to date?
Do I find it hard to date? Yeah. Who? Date who? See? It's a broad question. Do I find it hard to date?
Yeah.
Who exactly? Or just in Singapore?
I mean, anywhere, man. Like, I mean, in general, like in your life.
No, I've never had a problem with that. I used to have a problem when I was very self-conscious. I used to devise very flowery ways to talk to women, but I realized that, the best way to get to a woman is, I'm sorry, this might sound corny, but it really is just to be as sincere as you can. No matter how much of an asshole you sound like, you need to craft your sincerity in a way where, like even if you're just out there to get laid, just go look, man. You're just gonna go look, man, I don't want to waste your time, and I'm sure you don't want to waste mine. So here's the deal, okay? You're a very attractive woman, and I'm very sexually attracted to you. I'm trying to find the most, respectful way to tell you this, but, I'm just here to have some fun. So if you're in it too, we can do it. But if you're not, I will totally understand, and let's hope there's no hard feeling. They really like that kind of, they can't go like, oh my God, I gotta, those kind of like typical Singaporean boyfriends, you gotta carry their handbag, or fucking put their testicles in a purse and shit, I don't think women like that, man. Like, from my experience, I don't think women like that. I think the best thing that women like is sincerity.
And you know what? If they like it, you wouldn't want those kind of women.
Yeah. I think what women really like is sincerity, man. The more sincere you are, regardless of how much of an asshole you sound, as long as you're honest with them, there are women out there who appreciate that, and you will not fall short of being late at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those who are new to you and your act, like, what do you, which video content will you refer to people to?
Oh, dude, just I put the best stuff up on YouTube now, and especially
Any single particular video?
with the 1 hour show. I got a new bit. Probably when this is out, my next bit is gonna be out also. Check it out lah, Fuck Fast. I got Singapore taxi drivers, and then my stuff with Happy Ever After. The new videos are coming up soon. There's a lot of content coming because the content's done. It's just cutting up, and putting it online. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to that. So just look my stuff over YouTube. It's all for you guys. And hopefully in the future when you guys like my stuff on YouTube, you guys can come to my shows.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
I think so let's end it with like, how can people find you? Like get updated, your shows, everything. Tell the whole thing.
the Facebook page, Fakafaz, FAKKAH space FUZZ. Everything will be updated on that Facebook page. All the engagements done on that Facebook page. My Instagram, same thing, FAKKAH FUZZ, one word. And then, yeah, man, you can go to my website, fakafaz.com. Very simple. Thank you so much for having me.
We're done.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for staying throughout this episode. This actually is the real first episode. It got delayed because of some production issues. And I know I still have a lot to improve on. So if you have any feedback at all, please just email me or go to the website, brianvictor.com, and leave a comment. I read everything, and also all the show notes and links to books and shows can be found on the website. So it is Brian with a Y and VICTOR.com. So as you know, this is a project that I'm experimenting with. I hope to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of 10 episodes. So if you know that someone might like this, please share it with them or give a shout out on social media. I would appreciate it very much. So thank you. See you soon.